Hey everybody, and welcome to this episode of TAIBU Community. This week we're going to be working with chickpeas. These chickpeas have been brought to us and to you by the CARES initiative. CARES stands for Collective Action and Response for Everyone in Scarborough. This initiative, brought to you by the University of Toronto Scarborough campus and TAIBU Community Health Centre, is an effort to make sure that in this difficult pandemic, everyone in our community has access to safe and healthy foods. So if you'd like to access these foods, give us a call and we'll make sure to get you connected with these delicious foods. I will see you in a moment back in the kitchen. Hi everybody, my name is Vijay and I'm one of the community health workers at TAIBU Community Health Centre.
And I'm Tamika Shaw, registered dietitian, also at TAIBU Community Health Centre.
And today you're watching Cooking with TAIBU. So over the next little while, we're going to be featuring the series of cooking videos where we will be using a number of dry, non-perishable foods. And we thought it would be a great idea to sample some recipes so that you can follow along and do a lot of this at home.
So today we're making a really easy chickpea salad. It uses a lot of fresh ingredients. It's perfect for summer. Feel free to stick to the ones that we're introducing for this recipe, but you can always use anything that you have available in your fridge at home. So we are using juicy tomatoes, some fresh cucumbers, lots of fresh parsley. We're going to throw an avocado in, as well as lemon juice for some acid and some flavor.
Great, that all looks really good. But as you said, you can use, like, if you have cherry tomatoes, grape tomatoes, whatever, you can substitute for what you have on hand.
Yep, if you've got broccoli, pretty much anything really. As long as you can eat it raw, you can throw it in.
Oh, sounds good. If you have canned chickpeas, you're welcome to use that, but on today's program we're going to be featuring this dry chickpeas that's part of the CARES initiative that I mentioned earlier. So how do you actually prepare this?
Alright, so to get your chickpeas ready for the salad, you do want to soak overnight, otherwise it's really hard. Soak it overnight to ease the cooking process. Maybe about 8 to 12 hours would be overnight.
Can we just, I want to take a look at the difference. So this is what it looks like dry, like in the package. When you soak it overnight, it kind of looks like this.
Okay. Once soaked, and when you're ready to cook, you want to drain that water off. You want to get rid of that water, and then you put some fresh water on your chickpeas and boil for about an hour until really soft.
Okay. So
or until you get to the texture that you like it.
Perfect. With the magic of TV, we have done a bit of this earlier, so this is what it looks like after it's been cooked.
Now for simplicity, and if you didn't have the time to do all the soaking, the prep work, you can use a canned ingredient. Just make sure you read the label and choose one that says low sodium or no salt added. You doing your own chickpeas controls the ingredients that you put into it, but we're mindful of the time and that not everybody has the length of time to prepare this kind of stuff. So just choose one that says low sodium or no salt added.
Great. So I'm actually really excited about this recipe. I took a look through it earlier. So there's a lot of sort of cutting and prep involved, but once you have all of that done, it's actually pretty easy to follow.
Yeah, you just want to do a dice or a rough chop. We're using some tomatoes that we mentioned before and some cucumbers. So tomatoes were already diced. We've got some cucumbers already diced, and you can choose the size of the pieces. We prefer a fine dice. It looks neater in a salad. We've also got some sweet peppers. We chose an orange pepper for some color.
And again, orange, if you have red pepper or green bell pepper, you can use any of that.
Absolutely. Yeah. And then we've also got some red onion, also for flavor and color.
Nice. So I have a question. So sometimes in recipes, my mom likes to substitute, especially in salads, for onions. She'll use like green onions or chives. Can you do that?
Absolutely. Green onion, chives. You can do like a white onion if you want. Anything that has like some flavor to it. It just adds a lot more flavor when you're eating these kind of onions raw. All right. So start by choosing a really ripe avocado. We've got two types. It's up to you, it's your preference. This is a Caribbean avocado, and this is one that tends to be more common in terms of availability. Start by scoring the avocado in half. Really sharp knife is needed for this, but the avocado is very creamy, and so it makes it really easy to cut. And then once you've cut all the way through, you've got your two halves. You can get rid of the seed. And then you're going to use your knife, point down, and do slices. So slices lengthwise, and then you can go across and do more slices across. And that will get you some really nice, neat, diced pieces.
Now that avocado is a beautiful color on the inside. So I guess like at home, we traditionally call this a butterfruit. Now I can see why, because when you cut it open, it looks like a brick of butter.
Yeah, it is. It does have a nice creamy texture to it. And so for a lot of people, they love it. And then you have a few people who don't like that smooth, that creaminess. But it's a really good source of healthy fats. So many benefits to having this in your meals. It adds some satiety due to the fat, and then it also has healthy fats, which is really good for your heart. So I notice I'm taking a spoon and I'm going under the skin to scoop the diced pieces out.
And again, if you're not a big fan of avocado, or you don't happen to have an avocado that day, could you just leave it out and put something else in your salad?
I think this is something that you could sprinkle maybe some cheese in if you're like a big fan of cheese. Any type of cheeses, some firm ones like a halloumi, or you can do a soft cheese like a feta cheese. Again, you're usually watching out for the salt content. But you can certainly leave it out if that's your preference. And if you do dairy, then you can also add a little bit of dairy in.
And if you haven't had a chance to try an avocado before, yeah, this would be a great time to...
This would be the best way to do it because you're mixing it with other ingredients, so you're going to have a lot of other flavors. So I'm taking my bowl, I've got my scoop, and I'm dumping my diced pieces here. You might need to go into the middle again with your spoon, but for the most part, pretty easy to get those pieces out. Now, avocado will turn brown once it's exposed to air. So you do want to squeeze some fresh lime juice or lemon juice over it to prevent that browning. Once it's brown, nothing is wrong with it. It's just not very visually appealing.
I find that, I guess a lot of people, I know a lot of children, for example, even though the avocado is perfectly fine to eat, once it starts turning brown, then it gets icky.
It's a turn off, yeah. So I'm just squeezing the juice of half of a lemon over the avocado to prevent it from getting brown. And you could do that before while you're chopping your ingredients. In this case, we've got our ingredients already ready. Again, it's just really tossing everything in at this point. And then you're gonna season with some salt, pepper to taste, or a bit of cumin if you wanted to add some garlic. Right now, you've got your basic ingredients, and then it's just to add some seasoning or some flavors in.
And so I like a little bit of kick in the things that I eat. So if you like a little bit of heat, if you can add a jalapeno or a little bit of pepper.
Jalapeno would be good. Yep, absolutely.
Great. So let's put all of this together.
All right, so we've got our chickpeas here. Now we're just gonna go ahead and throw all our other ingredients in. So we've got the tomatoes, some red onions, yellow peppers or orange pepper. Got some cucumbers. Let's get all of that in. Some nice fresh parsley. And then we've got our ingredients for the vinaigrette. So we've got some olive oil, about a 1/4 teaspoon to a 1/2 teaspoon of cumin, depending on your taste. Also some white vinegar. This is roughly 2 tablespoons of vinegar.
Now if you had something else like apple cider vinegar, red wine vinegar, that you can use all of that?
Yeah, you just need an acid. So you could even use the other half of our lemon that we had. Just juice the other half of the lemon to get some juice. As long as you have about 2 tablespoons of an acid, like a liquid. And then we added some salt, which I just did before. And you can also add some pepper, as Vijay mentioned, if you needed some extra spice or an extra kick. And then we're gonna give this a little whisk or a little stir. And you drizzle all over. So you'll notice that I'm leaving the avocado for a minute because it's so soft. I actually don't want to mix it in at first because I don't want it to get all mushy. So I am gonna use my spoon at this point. Where did my spoon go? Right over here. And I'm gonna give this a little toss. Look at that, look at all those colors. It's very fresh. I can already smell the flavor of the cumin and the red onions.
That looks really summery
amazing,
and
right?
really like juicy and fresh.
Yeah, nice accompaniment to any summer meal or any summer barbecue. Now I'm gonna add the avocado pieces in.
Oh wow.
And if you notice when the pieces look a little big in the dice, you can still go back through with your knife. but I left them bigger on purpose, just so that when I'm stirring, they don't get too smushed or too mashed. And then you're going to go back through with your spoon and do a gentle stir. Now you do want this to sit for about an hour to get the flavors to marinate and to meld.
Come
You
together.
want the flavors to come together.
Now this is such an interesting recipe because I guess when I first imagined working with dry foods, I thought they would have to be like dishes that were like cooked on heat for a long time, or that would be like I never would have imagined like a fresh summer salad from dried food.
Yeah, this is just one of the easiest ways to do it. A lot of the dried beans and legumes that are in this package or in the Cares package, traditionally there's stuff that we cook forever. We tend to make more soups or stews, more curries, that kind of those kind of dishes that tend to take a little bit longer to cook. The length of the cooking time, or the longest ingredient here with the cooking piece, is the chickpeas, which if you soak it overnight, then it becomes relatively easy to cook the very next day when you're ready for it. What I do recommend too is just doing a really big batch of these beans or peas, and then you can use half your batch for a salad and you can save the other half to make another dish that you might want. So for example, you might use another half to make like a chili, or throw it into a soup, make a bean only salad. The limit is actually pretty endless. All right, so this is what we've ended up with. Really colorful salad, and we're about to dig in and let's see if it tastes just like how it looks.
Okay, now before we get there, because I really want to eat this too, so what I really like about this meal is that it's so colorful and it's so bright. Why is that important in the meals that we eat?
So going for color is really good in the sense of antioxidants present as different colors. So if you're going for a variety, it increases your chances that you're getting lots of different nutrients that wouldn't be in one food. So we usually preach variety because not every food has all the nutrients that your body needs. And if you have a variety, you're going to increase your chances that you're getting all the different ones that your body needs to function.
Great, so let's go for it.
All right, let me see if I can get a bit of every piece here. I love the creaminess of the avocado, the crunch of the cucumbers, crunch of the peppers as well.
That's really good. It feels really fresh. I'm just gonna do a quick plug for the dry foods again. So if you get your hands on one of these chickpea packages as part of the CARES initiative, here's a great, easy to assemble recipe that you can try at home, and let us know how you enjoy it. One thing that I really love about this is again, the variety, how easy it was to make.
Yep.
And if I were to do this at home, I think the only thing that I would change is probably chop up a green chili or a jalapeno.
And I was gonna say that if you want an extra kick, certainly add those pepper in, because I would do the same thing. The cumin is very strong, and I said you could add more or less. Some people are kind of sensitive to the to cumin taste. We added about a half a teaspoon, but you can add more or less to your taste. Salt, we're very conscious of as well. So if you wanted to add more salt, more pepper, and then definitely the jalapeno or just some
chili or
brown red
peppers.
chili. Yeah, peppers.
And again, if you have different palettes at home, you can always put those things off to the side and ask people to top them as necessary.
Yeah. Oh yes, for sure. Right. So instead of having everything in one big bowl, it could be like a platter, like a salad bar. Yeah, help yourselves. But this was good. Thank you, Vijay, for organizing. And thank you to the CARES program for providing their donation.
Providing these really essential foods to our community. We're going to try our best to make sure it gets into your hands. If you're interested in receiving one of these packages of really good, nutritious, dry, non-perishable foods, let us know, and we'll get it out to you. And on that note, this is TAIBU Community Health Centre, and we'll see you next time at another TAIBU Cook-Along.
Of course. See you. Take care.
Bye.